Here we go. So we're here today at the Adirondack Wood Floor Company with the owner, Don Savoy.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's going to talk to us a little bit about engineered hardwood floors. Now, Don, I thought engineered hardwood floors were like a cheaper kind of floor. Is that true?
No, as a matter of fact, the engineered floor is a pretty technical floor. It does a lot more than a solid floor these days. With the trends going from a narrower board like this, like they used to be,
Okay.
to people wanting a wider plank board like this, which is an 8-inch board,
Okay.
the engineered properties are absolutely critical for the success of a floor. And I'll tell you why. Because the floor is engineered, and if you can zoom in here, you can see the end here. The end of this has got a 4.5 millimeter wear layer, and this is ash. And then it's got an 11 ply cross-dimensional backing underneath it. So the layers of plywood go north and south, and then the next layer goes east and west, and north and south, and east and west, and so on, all the way up. What that does is that controls the expansion and contraction of that substrate. What that means is that this floor is not going to expand and contract, and it's not going to shrink. And you get a long-lasting floor that is sandable up to 4 or 5 times. And as a comparison, this piece of floor right here is a copy or a piece of floor that was put in a house from the turn of the century, the 1900s. And these floors have been sanded and refinished for the last 100 years and are just now falling apart, because when you sand the floor, you take the surface off and the space on top of the groove gets down to nothing, and you have a big crack that comes out here. And you can see the wear layer on our engineered floor is actually much thicker than the old floor. So these floors are good for up to and over 100 years.
Okay, so it's not like a laminate.
No. Laminates are, they're like countertop material. They're pictures of wood that are put on basically a cardboard base, and they're not real wood. This is a real dry sawn piece of wood that goes on a substrate that makes it incredibly stable.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and you can go very wide with that. Over here we've got some reclaimed products. Here's a 10-inch wide reclaimed piece of oak that is engineered, that we put down on a floor, and it is stable as the day is long. Doesn't move. You get great character, and it's a wide plank that a lot of people are really want to have in their home now.
So that would be probably even better than getting a solid plank floor if we live in a climate like this, the Adirondacks.
Yes, because a solid plank floor, the wider you go, the more it wants to go back to being a round tree. And the more wider you go, the more it's affected by moisture. So for example, a 2-inch board like this one has only got so many growth rings across here. An 8-inch plank like this one has got many more growth rings. And each growth ring and between the growth rings experience expansion and contraction. So if this was a solid board, this one, this board would expand and contract much more than a narrow board.
Oh, because of those little lines in there?
Yeah, because of the growth rings.
Okay.
Because that's how a tree grows.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
the wider you go, the more expansion and contraction you're going to experience with a solid plank floor. That's why the engineering of this wood provides the best of both worlds. You get a wide plank floor that's incredibly stable, and can be refinished just as much as a solid floor.
Now you make this for people, right?
We do. We have partnerships with companies where we write the specifications that the customers want, the species, the grade of the wood, the width, the length. We send those specifications to our partner company. They actually physically make it right here in New York State. And then if you want your floor pre-finished, then that floor gets sent up to another partner of ours up near Oswego, New York, and that's our pre-finishing partner. and we write the specifications for that as well. We make samples that the customer's looking for, color, texture, sheen. We make physical samples. Once the customer approves that sample, that becomes the floor that's going to go in their home. We make it, I watch it run, we deliver it, and then you have a great floor that is wide, stable, and more importantly, all made here in New York State, customized, made for you.
Well, there you have it. The benefits of an engineered hardwood floor, and one that you can have made just the way that you want here at the Adirondack Wood Floor Company. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome. Thank